Hello there, everyone. It's Hunt back with another episode of Tabletop Recap. Kind of coming back from the hiatus. This hiatus was a bit more planned. It was announced on the B3 Productions Twitter a while back. It was a nice long one. Uh, the reason we took a hiatus was kind of just because we had to get some new stuff together. This is going to be more like a bonus episode, not a full actual episode, because we're changing the show, and this is just kind of going to be why that is and what things are going to be like going forward, because I love making this show. I think it's really fun. I think it's a good show. Uh, and my friends really love making and listening to the show. So we took a hiatus because Big Boy Chungus and I were both working jobs that didn't have weekend work. Our jobs were just closed on the weekends, and so we had time to do a weekly podcast. But there was so much going on because, Connor the trading card goblin moved, and he got a job that is heavy weekend work. So he doesn't really have the time to play Dungeons and Dragons anymore. Um, and then, you know, G is in school to learn how to do a job that'll make him richer than all of us. KeoCat just started a new job with free weekends, which is good, but we're just gonna have to see what goes on with her because she, like, when I say just started, I mean like when I'm recording this, she's not even a week into the job, so she needs time to get acclimated to her schedule and etc. D Legend has heavy weekend work, and I recently got a new job, and when they were interviewing me, they were like, "We mostly want you for weekends. We want you to do heavy weekend work." And I agreed, and honestly, I love the job. I adore my current job. It is a great fit for me. It doesn't hurt my bad back too much. Everyone I work with is super nice. My bosses are super chill. The things I'm working with are things I love. And it's a great atmosphere, and I really love the job. But I'm still working my other job, kind of. So I have like two jobs. Plus, I'm doing a lot of writing now. I'm releasing ebooks under the name Paul Kelly Jr. on Amazon, uh, which is pretty good. And I got a big one coming out soon. A couple are already out. But I'm also doing that because that's kind of my favorite thing to do these days is write. So I wanted to really put some stuff out there with that. And I got a strict writing schedule. And as I said, I'm I'm not I'm not really available to game on the weekends anymore. But Big Boy Chungus is working like, you know, a full work day every weekday, and I'm working a full weekend, and most of us are working weekends, so we haven't even been able to get together to play, uh, you know, TTRPG in forever, and you know, we have another group and they haven't been able to get together either because they got a lot of stuff going on. And that would, of course, be Karen, the Manager Slayer, and Kami. They got their own stuff going on. There's a lot happening. There's just a lot happening in our personal lives. So this is no longer going to be a weekly podcast. We had no trouble making it a weekly podcast for the longest time, but it's just gotten to the point where we're all so busy in our lives, it's just not possible anymore. Especially since I'm not really making what you would call a profit on this. Like I'm just sponsored by Anchor, which is the website that puts my podcast out there onto Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and everything. But it's not much. I've maybe made like $20 the whole time this podcast has been going, which isn't much. And in an effort to make more episodes, we're just going to have to do more episodes that are just me. There are going to be more episodes that are just me. And I hope everyone's okay with that. because that's just what we're going to have to do. We might go for more monthly, because like I'm not even going, and I haven't even been hanging out with Big Boy Chungus. I haven't been hanging out with anyone really, because like we were all vaccinated, and so we started playing in person and stuff again. But then I got the new job, so now I work every day that Big Boy Chungus is free, pretty much. And even if I don't, there's the Delta variant running around now, so I'm kind of just in danger all over again. It's whack. It's wild. So there will be just more episodes with me. Maybe less storytime episodes, more review style episodes. I still have games. I actually just got a new game. I got that Universal Monsters board game. What's it called? One sec. I actually have it right here. Horrified. It's a game called Horrified from Universal Studios, and it's like with all their classic monsters like Boris Karloff, Frankenstein, the creature from the Black Lagoon, Bela Lugosi, Dracula, Lon Chaney Jr., Wolfman, etc. They are, it's a game with all those monsters doing monster stuff, and I hear it's a really fun game. It's normally about $30. I got it on clearance for about $8. It was $29.86. I got it for $7.64 on clearance. Definitely happy about that. So I've got to do that soon. I have that like Cyanide and Happiness trolley game. I have a Rick and Morty card game based on the Parasite episode that I haven't played. Haven't started the Call of Cthulhu campaign because even though we're like only 1 or 2 sessions away from ending Descent into Avernus, it kind of just looks like it's maybe the Call of Cthulhu thing. I'm gonna have to completely rethink about how that's gonna work, because the people who signed up to play it, I don't think most of them can actually play it now. But I do have a lot of Call of Cthulhu, videos that'll come. I'll review both the Investigator and Keeper rule books, and I have other Call of Cthulhu card decks that we can do as well. The next review will be a TTRPG review. That'll be kaiju and mecha stuff. Hopefully everyone will really enjoy that. But a lot of the videos are probably just going to be me by myself, and it'll probably be a monthly show now, sadly. Weekly, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think that's going to happen for a while, especially with my job wanting me to work, the whole weekend. I'm just doing what I got to do to survive, All of us are. This is, since I'm not making any real money off this, so it's really just a hobby, and the work has to come first. Sorry. That being said, though, there's more coming. We still got to do HeroClix. We still got to play HeroClix and all this other stuff. But there'll still be story time episodes probably, because every time you play a game, you'll be making more stories. There's actually a not safe for work story that I've kind of been wanting to really get into on the podcast, but it's always been, a PG podcast, and I haven't told the story. I'm going to tell it at the end of this episode. At the end of this episode, I'm going to tell the not safe for work story that I think I've maybe just hinted at in the past and not really gone into heavy detail for. I'll tell it at the end of this. It's a Dungeons & Dragons story. It's very, very fun. Very, very fun. I still joke about it to this day. It's a good one. But, yeah, I'm still trying to get, my Call of Cthulhu campaign off the ground. The My Little Pony Friendship is Magic campaign off the ground. And it's just going to happen. I have a lot of episode ideas. I just need to, play the games. I just need to play the games. So we're still going to have storytime stuff. We're still going to have recaps of TTRPG sessions, whether it's pre-written stories and stuff. Big Boy Chungus has actually bought a lot of tabletop gaming stuff recently, despite not playing. I think he might just start playing at a gaming store that's a couple towns over from him, which is fine. And Big Boy Chungus is going to do story times of those. So Big Boy Chungus heard at this gaming store that they needed more dungeon masters. He's going to volunteer to be a dungeon master, probably, if he has the time. And then those sessions, you are going to get the stories for here. So that'll be fun too. So you're still going to get storytime episodes, even if he and I aren't able to play at the same time. Because, I mean, last time I hung out with him, which was a couple weeks ago, we didn't record an episode, even though we very well could have. We were just both so exhausted from the week. Because I had a brand new job. This job is very recent. And just a lot of stuff's been going on. A lot of stuff's been going on with everyone, who works on the podcast. Everyone. But we will be coming back, as soon as we can. This might just be the episode for this month. I don't know. I guess I can make it a numbered episode. It doesn't really matter. But the podcasts will change. They might end up being a little shorter for reviews, because I think reviews might mostly just be me from now on. Not super sure. I'm just really not. But I really, really, really want to get back into gaming, because I love gaming with my friends. It's my favorite thing to do with my friends. And, I'm hustling right now. I have a freelance government job. I have a part-time job that's actually in a city that's very far from me and infamous for traffic. And then I'm also dog sitting for people I know on the side. And I'm doing this and YouTube. And I'm writing books and selling, ebooks and stuff. I got a lot going on. And I really, really hope that this will work out. I'm not giving up on the podcast. I took a hiatus. That gave me time to think about it, and just gave us, all of us who were working on it, an opportunity to just not worry about it. The podcast was my most important artistic endeavor, but now it's the ebooks. Sorry. But the ebooks will still be fun too. Lots of sci-fi, horror, and comedy stuff. I even did a little nonfiction about the mortician, degree I got, thanatology and etc. So that's it. Our next review will probably be Tiny Frontiers Mecha and Monsters Tabletop Gaming Rulebook. Not a review of the game, a review of the rulebook itself. But until then, I'll see ya. But I gotta tell that story first. You were waiting on it. So, back when we were playing The Sunless Citadel forever ago, which you can listen to on the podcast, I think I edited The Sunless Citadel into a full episode, maybe? It was just a very short little campaign. It was the first time Connor had played. It was really... it was the first time Big Boy Chungus had really DM'd. Fun stuff. Lots of an intro experience for a lot of people. I wasn't very well versed in 5e at the time, and I'm still kind of not, because we still haven't even really played that much, to be honest. I still know more about 4e than 5e. And G was a new player to Dungeons and Dragons in general as well. So I'm playing the Sunless Citadel, and there's a part where this just little white dragon wormling called Calcrix just wipes the floor with everyone. An NPC and I are kind of down the hall, and we don't know that this fight is happening. But, the party favorite NPC was killed, and then both G and Connor's characters were knocked out. And eventually there's a big noise, And my character comes around the corner, and everyone's knocked out except for one person who's dead. There's a white dragon wormling there who was barely touched, if at all. And I go to fight it, and I'm in the doorway, and trying to get through so that Urky Timbers, which I believe was the NPC's name, it was like is it a gnome cleric or something like that? I think it was a gnome cleric, not a halfling cleric. It could have been a halfling cleric. I don't remember. So, Connor is like, there's no way you can take this thing. You just can't. And then I'm starting to do well, and Connor says, if you beat this thing in one, round, I'll blow you. He's just like, if you beat this, I will blow you. And I did it. I beat it in one round. And ever since then, Connor has owed me a beej. I told him there were many ways he could make this right. Either he could blow me, or he could find someone who was willing to, and I'm never going to let it go. It's way too funny. And he was dumb enough to tell his parents about it. So even they make fun of him. His whole family's ragging on him for it. The whole D&D group rags on him for it. I haven't ragged on him for it in a while because it's kind of an old meme, But maybe I should just bring it back. It's kind of an old joke now, but yeah, for the longest time, if I would ever disagree on anything with Connor, I'd be like, "What do you know? You owe me a blowjob," which isn't a real argument, but it was just really funny, really ridiculous, absolutely stupid, and just embarrassing for Connor, which is easily the best part. But yeah, that's it for today's episode. And I also wanted to speak about it time-wise. I kind of forgot to do this. Episodes with just me, I want to have like a minimum length of 15 minutes. And episodes with one other person, I would like to have a minimum length of 30 minutes. So with a guest or co-host, 30 minutes or longer. With just me, 15. That is actually what I've been doing for a while. But I wanted to, reiterate that specifically because there will be more episodes with just me now. But that is it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, check out all the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. And that is it. I will see you all next time.